Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can dynamically generate Google Slides from a template based on the data you store in Google Sheets, export them to PDF, and then email them to email addresses as attachments. Now, let's look at our scenario. Our scenario is that we've got a congratulations certificate template. We want to issue one of those for each one of the employees that we are storing in a Google Sheet and email it to them as PDF attachments. Now, if you look at our template, the bits of which I want to dynamically populate for each employee are enclosed with curly braces. At the top, you see the employee name enclosed with double curly braces. At the bottom, you see the date. On the right hand side, you see issuer name and issuer title. In our case, going to be the employee's manager. Now, let's look at the sheet where I store a list of employees. Let me zoom in a bit. In here, as you can see, I store a list of employee names, their email address, the manager, and the manager title. Remember, the manager is going to be the issuer of the certificate. Now, let's look at our Zenphi flow. I've gone ahead and created a Zenphi flow. In this case, it's just a manual story. The first step, I'm using the read rows action, which is going to read a list of employees from that Google Sheet. As you can see here, I'm saying read it from the employees sheet. Yeah, it's called employees. And if you look at the titles here, the headers here, they're gonna show up down here. I'm saying read all the rows and pretty much read all the columns for all those rows. After that, I'm using the current date time action to get the current date time in a specific time zone. In our case, in the Melbourne time zone. Then I'm gonna go ahead and format it with the format that I want to display down here. This is where it's gonna display. Come back to here, and then I'm gonna loop through the list of employees which I've read up there. So I've drag and drop for each loop. I've configured it to loop through the read rows. So it's going to loop through every employees, and for each one of them, we're going to use generate a slide action. You can find it down here. I already I've got one here, and I have configured it. Now let's have a look. As you can see, I have selected a connection. Then I have selected the template file here, and as soon as I select the template file, Zenphi fetches all the tokens we specified in the template. Now, if I zoom in a bit here, you can see employee name is showing up, date, and pretty much all of them that we have specified. Basically, anything with double enclosed with double curly braces is going to show up here. And here we can assign the respective values which we would like to dynamically populate. For the name, I'm going to select the name column of the item which we're currently looping through. For the date, I'm going to use the date current date time, which we formatted using the format datetime action. And for the issuer, I've selected the manager, and respectively selected the title for the title of the issuer. Now up here, I've specified where I would like to store the generated file as well as the PDF file, which is this folder in my drive. Also, this is the name I'm going to use, the name of the employee certificate. I'm also switched on the export to PDF, which is actually after it generates the slide, it's going to also export it to PDF. The next step is sending the generated PDF as an attachment to the employee. As you can see, I have drag and drop send email action and configured it accordingly. I've selected a connection that I want to send from. For the two, I'm going and selecting the user ID value of the current item in the loop, which basically is coming from here for the active item. I'm also seeing myself there so I can demo it to you. For the name, for the subject, dynamically generating certificate dash employee name. So that's going to be a dynamic subject. I've kept the body pretty brief, and also the way I have attached the PDF folder is, you remember we had that generated slide action. There's a PDF payload output. I just select that, drop it there, and the actual PDF file gets attached to the email. Now, let's actually test this flow. Let me go out. And as you remember, this flow was of manual, so we can run it on demand by clicking on the play button, which I just did. Now, let's go and check the history. There must be a new instance of this flow running. As you can see, it's already executing. Let's see where it's up to. Okay, generated a slide, so that means it's already generated one, and yes, Tony's slide, which was the first item being generated, and this is the certificate for Tony Star. As you can see, all the dynamic values have been populated from this list. Wonder Woman is the manager or the issuer. Now, let's look at the email, and to make sure we are receiving the email for all the three. There they are. Tony Stark. This is the same PDF file we looked at. As you can see, the actual file is attached. And just let's have a look at another one, Dr. Bruce Banner. And this is the one for Dr. Bruce Banner. Hopefully I've been able to show you how easy it is to dynamically generate the slides, export them to PDF, and send them as an email attachments to employees. Please share your feedback, comments, suggestions using feedback.zenphi.com. Thank you.